The future of in vitro fertilization in Florida remains in limbo after several controversial decisions across the country. Last night, lawmakers in Alabama made a move to protect IVF after the Supreme Court ruled that embryos could be considered children in wrongful death lawsuits. But the state legislature voted to restore IVF access. In Washington last week, Republican senators blocked a bill to protect IVF at the federal level, leaving it up to states to regulate. Riley Phillips is on your side tonight. She's heard from a Jacksonville woman who is worried about how the Alabama ruling would impact families here in Florida. Big concern for her.
Yes, a bill that would allow wrongful death lawsuits over the death of a fetus was stopped here in Florida, and some Florida lawmakers have publicly expressed their support for IVF. But I spoke with a Jacksonville woman who says she and her husband are now talking about having another baby through IVF sooner because of the controversy in Alabama.
I was honestly just terrified that something like that could happen here in Florida.
Amanda Fernandez has known she would have difficulty getting pregnant since she was diagnosed with PCOS at the age of 16. But in 2022, she and her husband welcomed their baby boy.
It took us about a year of fertility treatment. We did IUIs and IVF. We had one failed round of IVF and then one successful round of IVF. And now we have our son who's 17 months old. So we were very lucky.
Fernandez has been keeping up with the Supreme Court ruling in Alabama, the news causing anxiety for the future of her embryos here in Florida. She says she and her husband are now considering starting their next fertility treatment sooner than planned because of the controversy in Alabama.
We're not necessarily ready for it at this moment, but now we've reconsidered that, doing another round of IVF sooner than we would like to, just because we don't want to miss out on that opportunity if something like what happened in Alabama would happen in Florida.
Dr. Samuel Brown, a fertility doctor in Jacksonville, says the ruling also made doctors around the First Coast nervous. He worries if more states follow suit, fertility treatments will become more expensive and families will choose not to have children.
It's really going to be a step back in science. It's going to be a step back in medicine, 30 years. It's going to make it really less accessible to these desperate couples and couples trying to have a family.
Fernandez says she is relieved the Alabama state legislature passed protections for IVF clinics. She hopes this will show people how important it is to have access to this type of care.
My son is my entire world. I couldn't imagine my life without him, and I would not have been able to have him without these treatments.
And lawmakers in Alabama have stressed this is a short-term measure and there is still more work to be done. The bill they passed does not answer the question of whether embryos could be treated as children under Alabama law. Live in Jacksonville, Riley Phillips, First Coast News on your side.